She thought she could just sign away her kids to avoid paying child support, but instead the judge sent her to jail. Sound familiar? Oh yeah, this is stuff men go through all the time. Yes, jail time for failure to pay child support.
You've spent years in jail for unpaid child support, and your life has been turned upside down. You claim you could be locked up again if today's results prove you are indeed Miss Lapine's biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
You actually have a court date tomorrow concerning the child support for this young woman as it pertains to the paternity of Miss Brandy Lapine. You are not her father.
And this mom hasn't paid in months, owed almost $9,000 in child support, and showed up in court to let the judge know that she wants to terminate her rights so that she wouldn't be responsible for her kids any longer. That she, of course, decided to lay down with somebody else and create. She claims she's broke, homeless, and that it's all not her fault because she never got her disability paperwork. But the court wasn't buying it. In fact, the judge reminded her that until adoption is finalized, you are still the parent and you still owe. But when she kept interrupting and making excuses, this is what happened next. Shout out to Court Nerds, your court watch source. Let's get it.
All right, Ms. Brink, are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're on the record in Brink versus Hildebrandt, case number 11-14050. The record should reflect Ms. Brink is present today by Zoom video. Ms. Krause, can you tell me the status of this file today?
This hearing was adjourned from August 5th to allow the plaintiff to obtain friend of the court forms regarding disability and complete and submit them back before today's hearing. No information has been received regarding her inability to work. The only contact the office has had with the plaintiff is on August 12th when she dropped off a letter requesting to sign off her rights to the child and support to stop. Friend of the court staff did indicate she may need to reach out to probate court to move forward regarding that information. And outside of that, the plaintiff has a support obligation of $197 and a balance of $8,709.16. The last payment was received in February in the amount of $206.47 from a prior income withholding.
Okay, Ms. Brink, why did you not submit those forms as you were ordered to at the last hearing?
I never received them.
Okay.
They were supposed to have been mailed to me.
Did you go in to get the forms?
They were supposed to have been mailed to me. That's why I provided my address at the last court hearing.
Okay. Did you do anything to follow up with that at all?
I mean, it's not really my responsibility when someone doesn't do their job.
Yeah, this is not going to end well for her.
Well, it's your responsibility to pay your child support payments, and if you don't
But
pay
that
those
has nothing to do with the disability paperwork.
Okay, I'm not going to argue with you. We went
I'm
through
not
this.
arguing.
Yeah, you are, and we went through this at the last hearing. We confirmed your address. We told you.
Right, so that they could be mailed to me, which they were not.
They were mailed
And I
to
would
you.
like to sign off my rights to my children. And Devin said that he would not fight it. Bill did not fight it. He came and he signed. And when it came time for Devin to sign, he didn't show up. And I have a text message saying that he doesn't want, or that he wouldn't fight me on signing off my rights to Lila. Or John. So I'm not sure why he didn't sign the paperwork.
So you still are the parent and you still owe the child support.
But I'm requesting the court to terminate my rights to my children. She has a stepmom that can adopt her. I don't want anything to do with her anymore.
Well, there's a process for that, and that process hasn't occurred yet, which means
okay, well, I've asked for that process to be started a year ago. This is the second time I'm bringing it up.
Okay. Well, you have to do more than just ask. It's up to you to
well, that's why I had the document written up and by an attorney, and so that Devin would sign the paperwork, and he said he wouldn't fight me, and then he didn't show up to sign it. So I don't understand what the big problem is.
I really I'm looking at this, and I want to go off on how she's behaving, her stare, that stare that lets you know that she's not all the way there. I'm not trying to, I'm trying to be as kind as possible. I really am. My question is, what's up with these men out here? Because we have to talk about that, bro. That just stick their joystick into anything they see and create children. Just how? How? What are you thinking?
Okay, so how are we gonna deal with you paying your child support till that happens then?
I don't know. I have a paycheck coming from Boyne River, and you can have that. But
Okay.
other than that, I have $34 to my name. My house is for sale, and I'm living in my car.
When are you getting that paycheck?
I don't know. It should be garnished. I probably won't even get a paycheck. It should be garnished by child support.
Do we have an income withholding, Ms. Kraus, for any employers with Ms. Brink?
There is a potential income withholding, but it wasn't reported. So outside of her indicating where she's employed today, that process could take 6 to 8 weeks. So I can't guarantee that monies would be withheld from that paycheck.
Yeah, it should be. I've never had a problem with it not being withheld in the past.
She's like, all my garnishments are on schedule. Yeah, this woman shouldn't be responsible for any children. It's sad, though, that a woman has to be in this state for the courts to realize that. I don't know, maybe if there was a different judge, they'll be like, she's still the mother. She's still the mother. Man. Engaged or soon to be married men, getting a prenup doesn't have to be confusing. At fathershaverights.com, we break everything down in plain, simple English so you feel in control from day one. Here's one of our 5-star reviews from Logan. I didn't know much about prenups before, but the way everything was explained made it easy to understand. It didn't feel overwhelming or super legal heavy. It was just real advice that actually made sense. I feel way more secure going into marriage now. Grab the guide for the price of a couple of dinner dates by clicking the pinned link in the comments and join the hundreds of future husbands securing their marriages the right way.
Okay, well, we don't have the information from your employer, right? Ms. Kraus, is that what you're saying?
Yes,
She's
you
never.
do. Oh,
Correct.
they reported it.
Hold on, Ms. Brink. Ms. Kraus?
An income withholding was sent, but until monies are withheld, we wouldn't be able to indicate if that amount would be withheld. But the employer was not reported. It's pending, so I can't guarantee that the employer received anything.
They did.
Okay.
They told me.
Well, we haven't received any money from them, so apparently they haven't.
I haven't gotten the check yet. I haven't even been. I get paid every 2 weeks, and I've already lost the job. They already fired me.
Damn. That's crazy.
So you're not employed. You're not employed is what you're saying.
Not currently, no. I lost the job. I got fired. The bartender didn't like me.
Okay. What about the disability? Where are you at with that?
I filled out all the forms that they requested from me and mailed them back in the timeline that they gave me. But I'm living in my car, so I don't have access to my mailbox anymore. So I have to contact disability today after I get off the phone after I get out of court and report my address to be at my parents' house. Now, there's no guarantee that I'm going to get my mail. My parents don't like me. So there's no guarantee that they're going to tell me that the disability paperwork comes. I'm going to have to, I don't know what I'm going to do because I don't have gas to get to their house. And they have me blocked on the telephone.
Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Ms. Kraus.
In regards to her being homeless, she may be able to reach out to the local post office. They may have something for her in regards to obtaining a P.O. box, but she would need to check further into that.
Well, I don't have money to pay for a P.O. box.
They may have some options for you regarding if you're homeless right now. I don't know the details in regards to that, but it is some information that friend of the court has received in regarding post offices when people are homeless.
Okay, I'll look into that.
All right, well, here's Ms. Kraus, has there been, how many findings of contempt has there been in this case on Ms. Brink?
This would be a first finding.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Brink,
I'm not in contempt, Your Honor. I have no problem paying it. It's just I can't get a job because I have felonies. No one wants to hire me.
And felonies on top of this. You know, the reason why it's so good that a video like this has 500,000 views, almost 500,000 views, is you've seen plenty of videos. I'm sure you have. At least I've produced them here on my platform of men who share stories of other men, right? Goes through a divorce, not able to keep up with child support because they don't reduce the amount that he has to pay monthly, even though he lost his job. He doesn't know what to do. And so because he can't keep up with the payments, what do? Well, they then get rid of his driver's license. Now he can't drive. And if he drove for a living, now he's really in a bad place. Man doesn't know what to do. He's losing his mind, depressed. He just decides to end it. And I am talking about self-deletion here, right? And those stories don't garner much sympathy because even though you can look at that situation and say, wait, how can you work? How can you support yourself if they got rid of your driver's license and, you're in a bad position and it's hard to come back from? Sure, no excuse for anybody who's on it, technically speaking, is what they'll say. But nobody cares as much as they would if a woman was in that position. And when it comes to certain laws, I am of the strong belief that until we see more women in situations where people are wondering, well, surely there's something that can be done here, no laws will change for anybody. And this right here is crazy, right? Like, don't try this at home, interrupting the judge, arguing with him back and forth, right? This type of patience won't be afforded to you typically as a man.
I've already put out more applications. I'm not in contempt, though. I have no problem paying. It's just that I can't get a job. No one wants to hire me.
You are in contempt, first of all. I find specifically that you are in contempt because you aren't doing any of the things that I ordered you to do the last time. And you can't just
Your
say,
Honor,
well,
like what?
like fill out the forms for your disability.
They weren't mailed to me. How can I fill out forms that weren't mailed to me?
I'm not going to
I
argue
called
about.
and asked.
Okay,
I called and asked.
Now I'm finding you in contempt for continuing to interrupt me during this court hearing and inhibiting the court's ability to conduct this hearing. You're continuing to talk over me. I'm trying to explain to you.
I asked you a question.
You just told me that you're not getting mail at your parents and there's no guarantee that you're going to get your mail. So how do you know that you didn't get this? We sent it to the address that you gave us.
Right.
And I was living there up until Friday.
It's not my problem that you aren't getting your mail. All we can do is
getting my mail.
Obviously, you're not
making sense, Your Honor.
All we can do is send it to you at the address.
Did she just say you're not making sense?
Address that you give us.
And you didn't.
Oh, boy.
It's up to you. So you haven't followed through with what you were required to do.
Yes, I did. I called the child support office and asked about it, and they said it was too soon for me to be calling.
And you now so that I can say what I need to say for the record here, because you're continuing to talk over me and I'm not able to conduct this hearing. So the court adjourned the previous hearing in August to give you an opportunity to submit the forms that were required to be submitted. That's your responsibility to make sure that that's done. We had this colloquy the last time about your address. You gave us an address. That's the address we've been using. If you haven't received the mail, that's between you and the post office and you and whatever's going on with the address that you gave us. All we can do is send out forms. If you didn't get them in the mail, then it was your responsibility to contact the friend of the court, go to the friend of the court, make arrangements to get those forms and fill them out. But that's squarely your responsibility. It's your responsibility to pay child support for your child. That's still your child. Your parental rights haven't been terminated. As far as I can tell, you haven't done anything other than say you want that to happen to make that happen. So you haven't paid child support. You haven't complied with any efforts of the friend of the court to give you options outside of paying child support. So the court finds that you are in contempt because this would be a first finding of contempt. The court finds that you should be sentenced to 45 days in the Otsego County Jail.
Ooh.
The court is going to order that you turn yourself in to the Otsego County Jail by 5 p.m. today. That's September 3rd, 2024, to begin serving the 45-day sentence. If you fail to turn yourself in to the Otsego County Jail by 5 p.m. today, then the court will issue a bench warrant for your arrest. Ms. Krause, if you can prepare an order to reflect the ruling of the court on that today.
Yes.
All right. That's all for this hearing today. The court's going to disconnect from this brink at this time.
All right, there we go. As always, we're going to check out some comments, see what the people have to say. Top comment here says, by staying out of her kids' lives, she's definitely doing them a favor. I think this is true. Right? And we can all see that she does not need to be responsible for any children. And as a man out here, I mean, what are you thinking impregnating a chick like that? When you see that if she would defy the courts, she'll probably argue with the judge. She's probably going to argue with police. This is somebody who doesn't care about authority, doesn't care about common sense. You just have to avoid at all costs. Somebody else, she says her voice is so annoying, and the fact that she never shuts up. I feel really sorry for her children and hope they don't get to see this, to see what their mom really thought of them. That's very sad. Goes on to say, I know that it still tears me up to know how my biological father felt about me, and I never met the man. Wow. And if you are in this position, understand that number one, your value is not determined by even your mother who refused to take responsibility for you, right? Remember that you do have value in this life as a human being. And overall, God values you. You're valued by God who loves you more than any mother or father ever would. Somebody else who says her voice, attitude, and the fact she never stops talking. Here's another person who says, just imagine publicly saying, I want nothing to do with my daughters. What a horrible excuse of a woman. Here's somebody else who says, can't imagine why nobody likes her. And somebody responded back and says, it's amazing. She seems so perfect and has everything figured out. And, there's also the perspective of how were her parents, right? How was their mother? And the cycle keeps going and keeps going. But eventually somebody has to say, enough is enough, right? I can't keep blaming my past. I have to take responsibility and just do a little bit better for my next generations. This person says, so not fair. How can she not find a job? She is such a bubbly, charismatic personality. Yep. Another person here added, whiny voice is killing me. Here's somebody else who says she's only terminating her rights because she thinks child support will go away. Yeah, it's disheartening to see a mother trying to opt out of responsibility because they believe another father and the stepmother should take responsibility. The courts don't let you walk away just because you're tired and broke and you're tired of all your obligations. She says she has no problem paying, but hasn't paid in months and owes almost $9,000. Wants rights terminated, but keeps interrupting the judge over and over and over again. Dad's family at least is still contributing to raising the child while she has contributed nothing. A signature is not going to fix this. Accountability must be equal across the board. And as a society, we always hear about men being deadbeats, and yes, they do exist, but here's the flip side. An uncaffeinated woman who's trying everything in her power to dodge responsibility of her children. In the end, the children suffer the most, which is the saddest to see. Hopefully, I pray they rise above this, they do better. It's unfortunate. Hey guys, as always, I appreciate you checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. To my currently engaged or soon to be married men, if you need a prenup and would like a guide that shows you how to get a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement, hit the link pinned to the top of the comment section and access your guide at fathershaverights.com today.